Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome to my channel, Cooking with me, Chef Kui. Today we are making Birria Quesa tacos with Consomme. I've been seeing this food trend all over social media, and I know y'all been seeing it too. So y'all know I had to give it a try and whip it up my way. Let's cook. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is work on our chiles. So I have some Guajillo and California chiles. You can also use Ancho or Pasilla if you have those. And we're going to remove the tops of those off and then take my scissors and cut them open to remove the seeds. Make sure you use gloves anytime you're working with peppers or chiles. Make sure y'all use gloves. You don't want to accidentally touch your face, and then it burns like crazy. So make sure you use gloves, y'all. Alright, so now that we're done prepping our chiles, we're going to boil them for about 20 minutes so they get nice, soft, and tender like we want. I'm also going to add in a half an onion, some garlic cloves, some salt, and you can also use a chicken bouillon cube or two, or you can just boil it in chicken stock for a little extra added flavor. Alright y'all, so we're going to work on our meat. I have some chuck roast here. Traditionally you use lamb or goat. You could also use beef shank as well, but we're keeping it simple. We're going with chuck roast. So all I'm doing is cutting it into nice large size chunks. We're going to season it on all sides, and we're going to sear it. Get a nice brown crust on all the sides as well to lock in that nice flavor and lock in those juices. Alright, so now that I've seared my meat and set it to the side, I'm going to work on the base for the consomme. This is what we're going to be dipping the tacos in, and also the cooking liquid that we're going to use to cook that meat in. So I'm adding in my peppers, onions, and garlic from earlier, what we boiled. And now I'm going to add in some fresh Roma tomatoes, fresh garlic, another half an onion, some Chipotle Peppers, some herbs, spices, a little salt and pepper, and some water. We're going to blend all of this together until it's nice and smooth. Alright, so now that I blended everything up, I'm going to add my meat into my crock pot. And I'm going to pour that liquid right on top. But first we're going to strain that so that way it's nice and smooth. There's no chunks or seeds or anything like that going into that. Make sure y'all use a big enough strainer so you're not taking forever and a day like I did to push that liquid through. Alright, so now that I got my liquid strained, I'm going to add in some beef bouillon cubes and some water enough to cover that meat up. And we're going to cook it on high for 4 to 5 hours or on low for 6 to 8 hours just until it's nice and tender. Alright, so while my meat is cooking, I decided to make some guacamole. Now, I know traditionally this does not go with it, but hey, I wanted to be extra and make some. So if you don't want to make it, you do not have to, you guys. Right, so after I finish my guac, I'm going to work on my cheeses. So I have some Monterey Jack, pepper jack for a little kick, and some mozzarella. So about 4.5 to 5 hours in, I'm going to remove the fat off the top. I got some of the juices in as well, but this is what we're going to use to fry the tacos in. After that, I'm going to remove all of the meat. I'm just going to shred it up a bit, just to chop it up a little bit. Alright, just we're ready for the fun part. So I have some yellow corn tortillas here. You can also use white corn tortillas. So I'm going to add some of the fat onto my hot skillet. And then I'm going to dip the tortilla into the oil, place it onto my skillet, and repeat that process. Now, you can do how I did. I doubled mine because I was afraid it was going to tear when I was flipping them over. And I just doubled it up, put some cheese in between it. You'll see in just a second, you guys. Alright, so now that y'all seen how I doubled up my tortillas, I'm going to add in some more cheese. Then I'm going to add my meat. And then I'm going to add a little bit more cheese on top of that meat. Let it fry for a few seconds before you turn it over, before you form that taco. Alright, so right here I'm just folding them over. Once you fold them over, just let them fry. Just let them fry, y'all. Of course, you want your cheese to be nice and melted, so let it fry until it's nice and melted, but you want your shells to be nice and crunchy as well. You do not want them to be soggy. I was very impatient because they looked so good and I was ready to eat, so I didn't let them fry long enough. But you just want your shells to be nice and crunchy, so be patient and just let it fry on both sides. Alright, so y'all keep repeating this process until you make the desired amount of tacos that you want. I think I made about 8 or about 10 tacos, but I still had plenty of meat left over and I just froze that. But y'all, I made a mistake. I totally forgot to add some onions and cilantro in between it, but I caught it in like the last, I think it was the last 3 tacos I was making, I caught it. But make sure you add you some onions and cilantro in between it as well. Alright y'all, so here I am trying to sneak it into the last minute. I'm so glad I remembered. But when I tell y'all, this recipe is amazing. It's very time consuming, however it's well worth it. There's my consomme, my guacamole. I cut up some fresh lime for a little garnish, but y'all gotta try it. Very worth the wait, y'all. So delicious. But thank y'all so much for watching and coming to cook with me. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications so you do not miss when I post a new video. Follow me on all social medias, and I will see y'all in the next video.